Hello there, my name is Mohammed and I'm presenting the Weight Challenge application. I built this application with Kyle Brazil, and this is an application that helps people lose weight through competition. It's very obvious that losing weight is not an easy task for everybody, and people need motivation for that. And that was the actual reason why we thought of this application and why did we think to build it. And this application is helping people to group into like teams and challenge each other to lose weight. And it's also utilizing IoT or like smart scales, namely the Fitbit smart scale, the Area smart scale, to encourage people to use it on daily basis and get their uh, uh, weighing and inputting that into the application. And that's the main feature of integrating this application with IoT. So the web application is built on PHP and MySQL, and the backend is built on Java, JEE mainly, and Spring. And later on, I'm going to show you around the architecture. But for now, I'm going to take you into a tour on the application itself and how it runs and how we can use it. For the sake of this competition, once you add your email and password, you will have your account ready, but on a later stage, we're going to add the feature of verifying through the email sent to you. So for now, I'm going to log in using my account. I log in using my credentials, and once we log in, this is the main screen, and we see the active challenges that the user is enrolled in. We also are going to see here a graph of the progress of this current user. And we can go to the challenges tab where we see a list of the current challenges and the challenges that the user has participated in. So these are the challenges that this user has created. So he's the owner of this challenge and he can invite people to. And this one is a list of the challenges that this user has been invited to. So if you look at each of these challenges, it has a name and start date and number of days, a length in days, like a challenge that would take 60 days. And then you create this challenge and then you invite people to this challenge. And then once it starts on this start date, everyone will have to provide their weight on the area scale, and it automatically gets fed into the application. And on day-to-day basis, the user can get and see the details of this challenge and see their progress. They can see the progress of the other participants, and by the end of the time, this length, like 59 days that we see on the first challenge, the winner is going to be like presented as the one who lost the most weight according to their uh, own um, target. Also, when you get invited to a challenge, you will have the challenge in this list and you can either accept or decline a challenge. So if you accept the challenge, it becomes one of the accepted challenges that you are participating in. And if you decline it, then simply you are not going to see it on your screen anymore. You're not going to participate. If I click on any of these challenges, I would see for this one, because I'm the owner of this challenge, I will see a list of the participants and I can invite friends to participate. I can write their email address and invite them. If I'm inviting a user of the system, then the user will get an invitation like the one down here that we have seen on the main challenges. And if the user is not in the system, then the application will ask the logged in user to send an invitation email, so for the participant to register and log in. Once you click on any of these, you can also send them like an email with the invitation. If I click on any of these other ones, I will see more details on this invitation, like the present challenge and the start and end dates for it, and my goal weights. And we're going to add more information here for the ranking and the goal weight and so on. So this would be like sort of like the challenge details that we have. Also, if I click on the personal records, I will see that here I'm gonna see all the values from my weight ins, but I don't have any here, so I'm going to log out and log in with another account that has some values, and I look at the personal records, and these are going to be read from directly from the API, from the Fitbit API into the database. We have not implemented this part yet, so these values are hard coded, but once this is implemented and finished, it should feed in the values into the intermediary database and gets into the schema for this web application. So as you see, the application interface is simple, but it has all the required features, or it should have all the required features for a full challenge, and will display the progress of each of the participants in here. It's not yet in here, but it's going to be displayed in here. So that was a fast overview of the current status of the application. We are going to continue with this application, and I'm going now to take you into a view on the solution architecture as well as the environment. So this diagram is showing the architecture, the high-level solution architecture for the application. So this application is integrating with the Fitbit API, and this integration is to read the values from the area scale for each of the participants in the contest or in the challenge. We also have the backend services, and these are built on using the Spring framework on the OpenShift JBoss EAP, and this consists of a task scheduler that runs maybe once daily. It can be configured, and each time it runs, it initiates a worker class. This is like the heart of this application, or the main business logic in the backend application. And the worker class will uh, connect to the Fitbit API through the gateway, and after authentication using OAuth 2, it will retrieve the values, the weighing values for each of the participants, and we'll use the REST API, the Weight Challenge Spring REST API down there, to update the values to an intermediary table in the MySQL database. So all the interaction between this task scheduler and the backend services and the web application will be via this MySQL database table for now. So the reason for that is to simplify and the integration and the work among us, but later on this can be integrated through the REST API, like having the web application always uh, getting connected through the REST API rather than going directly to the MySQL database. And the main web application to the left is built using PHP and of course MySQL database, and this is on the OpenShift PHP latest pod. And this is the web application where the users can interact, log in, sign up, see the values, see the history of their progress, and sign up to new challenges and see the progress on each of these challenges. On building this application on OpenShift, we have been using a very good feature in there, which is the webhook. So as you see on the screen, this is our environment on the OpenShift, and we are using mainly this is the MySQL server or pod, and we have the MySQL database. We don't change this a lot, so most of the interaction is through my PHP my admin. But for this one, we are having a webhook on this one tied to our GitHub. So if we look at the GitHub, account, we will see that we have a webhook to the application,
spins up
and
a
this
new
means that
pod
all
and
what we
tears
need
this one
to
down,
which made it like really simple for both of us to work on this application. So at the end of the day, we don't need to worry much about the server, the deployments, and so on. All what we need to do is to just write the code and commit it. So and uh, we we were using the command line mainly to do all the interaction with the